Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
Fanboys, be advised, this video contains the absolute truth, may cause hurt feelings, and the need to thumbs down the video. Jermall Charlo, will he face a champion or a cherry? Look, let's just break it down. According to Michael Benson, Jermall Charlo has come out and stated that he intends to fight again this year after just beating Sergey Deverynchenko this past weekend. The WBC middleweight champion has stated, and I quote, "Let's unify. My brother unified, so it's unify season. They gotta have a belt." So Jermall Charlo is looking to add another belt to his collection. He wants to unify. These are his words. So let's see if he's truly about that life. Look, let's break it down. The three champions at middleweight, aside from Jermall Charlo, you have to look at our Canelo Alvarez, our Gennady Golovkin, and our Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Now, Gennady Golovkin is out of the picture. You know, Gennady Golovkin already has a fight scheduled on November 21st on DAZN against his mandatory. Now, he chose this mandatory over Canelo Alvarez, so I don't think he'd be trying to get out of it to face a guy like Jermall Charlo, who's going to be a much less substantial financial fight for him. So I'm sure that Gennady Golovkin would prefer a Canelo fight over a Jermall Charlo fight any day, because that's the better fight. At the end of the day, when you look at it, Gennady Golovkin is out of the picture, so he can't be talking about Golovkin. Canelo Alvarez is on the bench sideline at the moment, going through a legal battle with DAZN, and even if he comes out of that legal battle with DAZN this year, Canelo Alvarez is still likely to fight Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith simply because he's fighting at 168 pounds. So Jermall Charlo couldn't be talking about Canelo Alvarez. So if he's not talking about Gennady Golovkin and he's not talking about Canelo Alvarez, that only leaves one guy, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. So that means Jermall Charlo has to be talking about Demetrius Andrade. Now the interesting thing, if a lot of people saying, well, this fight may or may not happen, well, let's look at Demetrius Andrade's own words. Andrade has stated, if Showtime sends me a deal to fight Jermall Charlo, I can go over there and fight and then come back to DAZN, in the same way for them. Eddie Hearn has said that he's willing to pay, and if they want to stay, they can stay. So basically what he's saying is he'd go over to Showtime and fight a one-off fight, or, Jermall Charlo can come over to DAZN. So it looks like there's no network issues with these two fighters. Jermall Charlo has a free pass to come over to DAZN, but if Charlo wants Andrade on Showtime, Andrade has openly stated that he will fight on Showtime. Most of Jermall Charlo's fights have been aired on Showtime, especially his last three. So at the end of the day, if Jermall Charlo's fighting on Showtime and Demetrius Andrade is willing to fight on Showtime, Jermall Charlo wants to unify, Demetrius Andrade is willing to fight him and unify, this fight makes perfect sense for both guys. Now, at the end of the day, the first time that these guys had negotiations, Jermall Charlo denied ever receiving an offer from Demetrius Andrade, and that's when Eddie Hearn has come out, according to Michael Benson, and submitted proof of an email that he sent Jermall Charlo. And when you see it, he basically states congratulations on the win. He made the offer on the email and he showed it live on Seconds Out. And at the end of the day, Jermall Charlo stopped denying that he was sent an offer at that point. Remember, Jermall Charlo stated that he's his own promoter, Lions only. But let's not forget, Eddie Hearn has also stated that he will make an offer to Jermall Charlo for Demetrius Andrade on DAZN. But he also stated that it can be just a one-fight deal, so he's not tying Jermall Charlo to a network. You see, every time Eddie Hearn has always come out with something, or Demetrius Andrade, to try to get the fight done, there's always a hurdle, an obstacle, or an excuse put by the Charlo brothers. So at the end of the day, they simply wanted to make the fight. You even seen Jermall Charlo come out in the past and tell Demetrius Andrade, I'd rather fight another champion. Demetrius Andrade is a nobody. So, I find that very interesting. At the same time, he clearly ducked Demetrius Andrade, clearly called him a nobody, even though Sergey Deverynchenko had never been a world champion and was coming off a loss. It makes no sense, but Andrade's a nobody. We got to be honest and unbiased about the situation. Jermall Charlo didn't want to smoke. So is he now wanting to smoke by stating that it's unify season? He wants a champion next and he's ready to unify? Has he changed his tune? Or will he fight a guy like Chris Eubank Jr., who's already been schooled by Billy Joe Saunders? Or will Jermall Charlo end up facing a guy like his last two opponents, in Dennis Hogan or Sergey Deverenchenko, both guys who were coming off of losses? We shall see if Jermall Charlo truly wants a champion or if he really wants a cherry. But once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP.